what was that update all about? So it's the 5th of February 2025 and there's a lot of crazy stuff going on in the world, but there's also been a lot of crazy stuff going on in Destroy Grandma. Did you catch the latest Destroy Grandma update? Or rather, the update that was, because it's already been rolled back. And honestly, I'm kind of glad. So let's break down what happened and why I, as a top 10 player, didn't think it quite worked and what could still be fixed. The update changes. Just before the weekend, Destroy Grandma rolled out a bunch of changes and I'm usually very excited for an update. And when you start to read through them, they seem like a good idea on paper, but in practice, when I went to play the game, not so much. First up, they introduced Quick Play, where, and I quote, let the sub-server choose a game for you. Trouble was, it always dropped you into a game that had just started, where you were always a toddler and with Grandma seemingly starting with only 100 health. Yet somehow, there were heaps of toddlers running around, and that just doesn't make sense to me. It didn't feel balanced because at any time you start with 100 health, as Grandma, you know that you're already in a danger zone and climbing up an uphill battle to win. But the balance was there weren't that many toddlers when you had 100 health. Maybe 4 toddlers max, so it evened out and gave Grandma a fair chance of winning. But it seemed like with this new update, you'd always spawn into a just started game with loads of other toddlers and at Grandma with 100 health. And when it's like that, there's no jeopardy. You know you're going to win. And when you do that, the game stops being fun because the excitement comes from the challenge and the uncertainty. And if there's no real struggle, no risk of failure, no feeling of accomplishment when you succeed, it kind of just feels a little bit empty, like we're not really doing anything to win, it's just happening. Then there were these new zone doors that let you join specific areas, which could have been cool, except after the match ended, you'd be thrown back into the lobby to start another game with a totally random group. There was no continuity, no real strategy or a chance to build up some teamwork. It was just a bit chaotic. And also there were only 3 doors, but there's 4 zones, and sometimes the zones were duplicating. So if you wanted a zone that wasn't there, it was really hard to find a way to be in the game where you could vote for the location, because you certainly weren't getting that when you hit Quick Play. Quick Play always seemed to drop you in as a toddler. You couldn't choose a map, which I thought was a bit of an odd choice. The biggest problem? Balance. I think they totally messed up the balance of the game. Grandma's starting health seemed to always be 100, while the number of toddlers seemed to increase. The whole fun of the game is that no matter what role you get, toddler or grandma, you feel like you have a chance. And having a chance is so important to any game. But with so many toddlers, grandma never stood a chance. It was just a massive pile on. And without that chance feeling of winning, the game kind of feels a bit flat. Another small thing I noticed that had a big impact was that the boiling water weapon in the restaurant zone, it kept coming back. Now, it does always keep coming back usually, but it came back so quickly. They made it a very fast repeating weapon, which meant if Grandma was there, she had absolutely zero chance of survival. I played it myself as Grandma and as toddlers, and there was absolutely no way for Grandma to win. It knocked so much health off, keep having that boiling water reappear, and it made it almost impossible to win. And really, who wants that? Maybe if you're a very young player, you think, yeah, I just want to win. But actually, when you get a little bit older, you kind of think, well, no, that's not the fun of the game. You want to feel like you have a chance for a game to be enjoyable. This could have just been developer error, and they didn't mean for that to happen, but luckily it's been put back to the way it was, with the water reappearing with longer gaps in between. So other changes, what did I think hit and missed? Well, they also added some away from keyboard fishing game, which was just kind of there. It wasn't bad, but it wasn't great either. It was just kind of pointless. I'm not sure why that was added, but who knows. One thing I do like though is that the traps became visible again. When I first started playing Destroy Grandma all the way back in late November 2024, the traps were visible. That means if you want to use a trap as a toddler or a grandma, you could see it, and you could also see it if you were the opposing player. You could see the traps, you could avoid it. And I really like that because I think it works well for both toddlers and grandmas. Then an update happened and suddenly the traps became invisible, and I'm still not sure if that was intentional or not, but that's what happened. But now back in this update, they are visible again. So I really do like that. The Squid Game skins, a little bit like jumping on the bandwagon. Like, I don't think this is necessary. I don't want Squid Game skins. I haven't seen anybody with them either. I really like the originally created ones that they come up with. They're super cool and they are the best. So the rollback. Luckily, it seems like they realised their mistake and rolled pretty much everything back. Although I did see some grandmas with 350 starting health recently and like 8+ toddlers. Has that gone back? I'm not sure, but I think 350 is ridiculous health. I hope it has gone back to how it was, because it just turns into a messy scramble otherwise. You can't coordinate opening chests and sheds. The weapons run out so fast and it's just not fun. So I hope now we're back to the classic way of joining the game with the voting rather than being randomly dropped in. And honestly, I think that's for the best. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. I think it should always be 250 max health for grandma and 8 toddlers max. I think that's fair. Any more than that, and it's just a one-sided mess. Look, I love Destroy Grandma, and I always support trying something new, but this fell a little bit flat. There's no need to make it a nastier game, for want of a better word. That's my word, not theirs. The game works because everyone feels like they have a fair chance of winning, regardless if they are grandma or toddler, and they have a fair chance of deciding what zones to play. I understand their desire to, and I quote, make it more alive, and I also quote, add more diversity, but it was pretty much there already. The changes they brought in made it alive, but in a messy and chaotic way. And I wasn't actually that inspired to keep coming back to play, and I think that's the problem. I'm so glad it's been rolled back though. I was playing this morning and I think it's back to how it was, and I really like that. I will always look forward to more updates though, and I hope the next one will be a new zone maybe. I can totally see a grandma's summer house location, or maybe like a swimming center or a soft play center. These are places that I know I've been with toddlers, so it would be really awesome to see that in Destroy Grandma. So what did everybody else think? Did you like the update, or are you glad it got rolled back? Or did you perhaps not go on for a few days and are wondering, what am I talking about? But hey, if you did miss it, count yourself lucky. Let me know in the comments, and don't forget to like and subscribe for more, and see you out there. Let's go destroy Grandma.